Isn't it time you stop making excuses and be happy and successful in life? Welcome to Be Happy, Feel Great, where we bring in the experts that help you achieve your goals, dreams, and objectives. With me today, I have a special guest. I have Terri Glover, a personal trainer from BYOB, which I thought, I brought a blender, I have glasses here, ice, and I found out that that's the wrong BYOB. So Terri's going to tell you all about it.
Well, not necessarily, Michael, because, you know, after you finish your workout, you should have a good drink to make yourself feel fabulous. But it wouldn't be an alcoholic drink. It would be a nice juice drink or something like that to replenish your body.
Okay,
so,
okay.
You know,
so
we'll
use that blender later then.
Yes, we're going to use that blender
share
later.
It and have a demonstration.
Exactly,
okay, great.
Exactly.
Terri, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
Thank you so
this
much.
is a real pleasure to have you here. And my show today is about reinventing. There's so many people out in the real world that, with a lot of things going on with jobs, layoffs, the economy, cutbacks, but you're just such an optimistic, upbeat person, and I really wanted I want to share some of that with people today, okay? Because people need it.
I'm all about the sharing.
Good.
All about the sharing.
Good, good. So maybe can we start with, Terri, it's my understanding that you worked in the same field for about 30 years, and they were downsizing or closing a plant at some point.
Yes.
And, can you just tell us a little more about that?
Well, it could have been a really sad story, but it hasn't been for me. I worked for Pfizer, but we weren't Pfizer for a very long time. Pfizer had taken us over probably 3 years before they decided to outsource our jobs. So I was in pharmaceuticals, and I worked at the same plant for 33 years. Started there very, very young. Was supposed to be a summer job, but ended up staying because it was fantastic for me. It really was a good opportunity to grow in the company.
Sure.
So when they first told us that they were closing the plant, it was very shocking. It was they pulled us all into a meeting. It was satellite meetings from England and Mexico and all these places, and they said, you know, you're not going to have a job in 2 years. We're closing the plant in 2 years.
That's devastating.
It was for a lot. It was for a lot of people. I have to be honest. There were a lot of people that did not come through this well.
Yeah.
But I'm lucky enough to have a very optimistic attitude anyway. So, and I knew that I had 2 years to figure out what I wanted to do, and I like change.
Change is good.
Change is good.
I agree. Yeah.
So it actually gave me an opportunity to do something that I had been doing on the side. I was training people, but I wasn't a certified personal trainer. But I was training people in the gym. I was talking to people about nutrition. I was helping people, not a life coach, but helping people to become better at what they wanted to do.
Okay,
so this actually gave me a great
opportunity.
opportunity.
On the side while you were working for Pfizer.
Yes.
So it was a dream of yours to someday become a personal trainer?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now, was there a schooling that you had to go to get certified? How intense was that?
Well, there's so many different ways to become certified. There's different levels of certification. Some people are fitness trainers, some people are personal trainers, and then there's also the people that do just classes. I wanted to be certified in the fitness field so I could train anybody to do anything.
Wow.
So I had to learn, basic anatomy, nutrition, how to work with older adults, younger adults, people with deficiencies. So it was really very exciting for me. It was difficult, but challenging in a fun way.
Sure.
So
Sure.
I totally enjoyed the whole process. And now I am certified, and I've started my own business. So for me, it's been fantastic.
That's great. And can you tell us what BYOB actually stands for? I think I was off base a little, but I really knew.
I know. BYOB is Build Your Own Body.
I love it.
It could be Balance Your Own Body, because for me, balance and core work, nutrition,
and everything
it's all about realistic goals for that particular person. So my job as a trainer, as your trainer, is that we work together to get to your goals, not comparing yourself to anybody else. You know, everybody, all women especially, they want to look like Cheryl Tiegs or, you know, Miss Olympia, if that, you know, on either side of that.
Right, but they have to be realistic.
But you have to be realistic.
You have to be realistic,
you know,
sure.
And the key to this is to be fit and to be powerful and to be strong in whatever way you want, whether it's through being more flexible so you can get on the floor with your grandchildren, or being stronger so that you can work the farm, you know, better.
Yeah,
and,
everybody
you know,
has their own
personal
goals, as we're talking about.
Exactly.
It's not like you could go out and rent a DVD from the library or from, you know, one of the other places and watch it. That's general, and you're going to custom work with the person.
Exactly.
I guess in the beginning you work with them and establish the goals that they're looking to achieve?
Well, what I would do is I would of course give them a physical assessment because I want to know what they can and can't do. The other thing would, depending on their age, we would have to get, you know, a doctor's release form. So I need to know everything about this person that I can find. I would also communicate with, if they were going to a therapist for whatever reason. I actually have a client right now that is going to therapy for a physical ailment. I need to talk to the therapist to find out what the therapist is doing on what days so that I'm not interfering with the therapy and possibly hurting my client in the process. So it's not about walking into an exercise class and you're the anonymous person and you just follow everybody else, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. But this is more of a very detailed, a very personal.
Custom.
That's why it's personal, exactly.
Yeah, you're custom making this for each individual.
Yeah, and I want it to be fun. I want it to be dynamic. I want it to be challenging. I want people to look forward to spending time with me.
Right.
To, you know, to feel really great when they're done.
Well, so, I'm sure they will, because I feel really great just talking to you here.
Thank you.
You have so much positive energy as you're explaining it, and it's really, you know, when you mentioned like people go into a gym, there's so many people that I've heard of that they go there, they try to do too much too soon, and they end up hurting their back.
Oh, sure.
They don't stretch properly. You know, they want everything to be instantaneous, and I think by having the predetermining like the goals and the objectives and measuring the levels and when they achieve them has to be just so rewarding.
Important. It's very important. You know, I have been and always will be a gym rat. I love going to the gym. I love all of the things that are with the gym. However, now that I've started this business and I've gotten my certification, I am very good at taking one piece of equipment and doing all kinds of different things with this equipment. You go out there, there's bands, there's balls, there's kettlebells. It's not just going into a gym and working out on a machine. Personally, I like dumbbells, I like free weights, I like things that balance my body rather than help, you know, work my body. So I think that there's so many different things that we can do with very little. You can go to the beach and do a sandbag training. You don't have to go buy a bag, you can make your own bag.
Wow, sure.
You know, and that's what I'm all about. I'm all about helping the person who doesn't want to go to a gym. Because there are a lot of people that aren't into the whole gym scene.
Oh, no. I like what you just said about the beach. Do you actually do personal training at the beach?
I have a complete workout designed for the beach and for trails. I have band workouts. I have ball workouts. You name it, I've got it. For the person who hasn't done a thing in 40 years, or for the person who's been working out for 30 years and just wants to be challenged in a different way.
Really?
Your body will adapt to anything you give it, no matter how hard it is. And you got to change it up.
So you might as well give it something that you enjoy. Why make it boring? If breathing nice fresh air and looking at the beautiful water around you and being in the sand barefoot is
That's
your
right.
idea. That's what. How do people find you, by the way?
Well, I have BYOB Fitness at yahoo.com is my email. They could call me at home. Actually, it's my cell phone, 845-536-2392. And eventually I will have a website. But right now,
The word
I'm
of
so
mouth,
busy.
and you're
Yeah,
going to be
word of
so
mouth.
busy that you're going to have to clone other Terri Glovers, to be able to do this.
That is a possibility.
It sounds good. Well, you got me excited talking about this. Is there, like, maybe later in the show, would you be able to demonstrate anything for our viewers today?
I am prepared to show one particular exercise that can bring you from the easiest to very advanced. So I brought a couple of things with me, and if we have time, of course, I would love to do that.
Oh, I think the viewers would really like to see something.
Very good.
But I want to go back a little bit. Like I said, there's so many people out there today. We got a struggling economy. What you went through is, so many people are going through it. It's not anything that's uncommon. I have a brother-in-law that works for IBM. He said, on a weekly basis, people walk into work. You were warned. You had 2 years. But all of a sudden, they're getting called into an office.
And they're gone.
Okay, see ya.
Yes,
Thanks a lot.
that did happen to other people in my company. I happened to work in an area that they had to phase it out. It couldn't be an overnight type of thing.
Okay,
But there
that was
were
great.
people coming in, and like you see on TV, they pack their little box and they're gone. And it's very depressing. Towards the end, it was humiliating for a lot of people, because people who actually thought they were okay, I'm good, no, I didn't get the paper, would come in and have to leave. So it was sad.
Oh, sure.
But I feel like I was able to help a couple of my coworkers, people that I had worked with because we came in as kids, together. And we worked all through the years,
30 years you were there, you said.
And, we weren't whippersnappers when this happened,
Sure.
So we were getting up there, and prior to this, there were a couple other pharmaceutical places in the area that had already downsized. So there weren't a lot of pharmaceutical jobs that we could go to. And I feel like, not to pat myself on the back, but I feel that I was inspirational to a few of my coworkers to try to help them develop a plan. Would you like one example?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'll give you a quick
Yeah,
example because this is really cool.
Okay, great.
So I'm sitting in my office one day, and I'm looking at Oprah magazine, and there's this questionnaire in the back, and it says, how to find what you really want to do with your life, how to change your life, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And has big questions and everything. So one of my girlfriends comes in, and she's very sad, and she's so depressed, and she's like, what am I going to do? This is all I've done. She had a couple of kids at home. And I said, take this test with me. It'll be fun. I knew what I was going to do. She had no clue. And she didn't really know what she was good at. So we took the little test together. I tweaked a few things, being more
So
detailed,
this is the test
asking
that
her
was
questions.
in O Magazine?
Oprah, yeah. And it was pretty wild. So at the end, she says to me, oh my God, I had no idea that I really want to do this. Make a long story short, she went out, she got certified to be a life coach, and that's what she's doing now. It's amazing. It's amazing because the woman was always so good at asking the right questions of people, at helping other people to develop their goals, and she never even gave it a second thought because it was like at coffee break or at lunchtime. And people would always come to her and say, Stephanie, I'm so glad that you suggested that. It's so wonderful that, now I'm out walking dogs or I'm doing this and I'm helping my community. So she became a life coach.
She was a good listener.
Oh, yeah.
People like to come to her, and she really just took this opportunity and went with it.
Yeah.
Like so many people out there. There's so many people, they work in their jobs, they're stuck.
Yeah.
They really are.
Yeah.
They're there, they complain, negativism is all over. you know, around the water cooler, having a coffee break. They just complain about their boss. They complain about the changes. They talk about the good old days, what it was like, you know, the extra paperwork now that they have to do. And everybody has a passion. And it sounds like you found your passion.
Oh, yeah.
People that you helped at work, they found their passion. So here it is that you guys turned a negative into a positive, which is really just so exciting. It really, really is.
It is. You know, life is short. And you can either really live your life or you can just kind of like go through it. And whether it's fitness or a lifestyle or eating habits or whatever else, you need to do something good for yourself. You need to take care of yourself so that you can take care of the people that you care about.
Oh, sure. And like you said before, it's a balance.
Yes.
And with your personal training, you're actually, besides the physical training that you're doing, you work on their diet with them. That's all part of it. You're their mentor. You're their accountability partner, really. That's what I would like to be. Of course, there are going to be some people who don't want to change their diet. They just want to work out. And, you know, I can accept that too. I'm going to go with whatever my client wants me to do. I would like to explain to people that you are what you eat, you know, basically. I'm not saying you can't have that pizza. I certainly do. But I think that it's all integrated. You know, you can't pop a pill and feel good from inside out. You know, you've got to work at it. You've got to challenge yourself. And I feel like I can be an inspiration for anyone, for when it's a little guy or for somebody who's 95 and, you know, wants to do a push-up. You know, there are ways to motivate people, and there are ways to make people feel good about themselves, because that's the other problem. You know, you have a lot of people out there who, they don't love themselves. Right, they have bad self-esteem, and it sounds like a personal trainer is just, has so many levels to it, which is wonderful. You know, I'm learning. I was thinking, okay, you work out with different things, a little bit different, you know, and now you're telling us that, wow, you could work out in the woods or at the beach. It's not in a gym, which to me could be boring at times, you know, even though I like to get out and go to the gym myself and get on a nice elliptical machine. I would much rather be out in the fresh air and, you know.
Oh, sure. I have a client actually who just signed up last week, and at the end of one of our sessions, she said to me, you know, I've never kayaked. You know, tell me where I can go get a kayak. And I said, I have 2 kayaks. I will teach you how to kayak, and we can incorporate that into your training. So she was thrilled. It never entered her mind that that could be part of a training session. So that's also, you know, there's so many things that I offer, I think that other people don't. I want to be personal with my clients.
Plus, you live in a beautiful area too, right? You're out on Eastern Long Island?
I'm in Cutchogue. I've been told many times that my backyard looks like Napa Valley. I have a beautiful boxing apparatus out in my backyard that I use for, you know, for my training. I have all kinds of things. So whether I come to your house or you come to mine or we go out into the countryside, it's all good.
That's
great.
All good. So sounds like you don't have a lot of regrets that you left Pfizer.
None.
No regrets.
None.
That alone has to be an inspiration for people who are watching the show, to be able to hear that you went through something as devastating as, you know, getting that nightmare that people dread, that you're losing your job, that you've been there all your life. You gave them the best years, but not really. Now you're giving yourself the better years, even the years that you're doing your own thing, your passion. You know, you radiate as you're here today with just sharing it. And I can't imagine somebody not, you know, that's watching saying to themselves, gee, kayaking, I never even thought of that. I
Sure.
could get trained with a personal trainer. You know, there's certain things that just seem so out of touch, and you could make that reality for them. I'm excited. I want to see more. Can you show me what this is all about? You said you
Sure,
could show us
sure.
something
I can
today?
show you. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll show you. I'll stand up and talk as I do it.
Sure. Should
So,
I sit down here? Can I watch or?
Sure.
Should I? Okay.
Whatever. If you want to stay there, that's fine. So the first thing that I want to show people is you can have a very basic move, okay? So a lot of times a client will come in and they haven't exercised in a long time, or they have poor balance, poor stability. So we would start very, very slowly. So the first one is, and it's a very basic squat, it's called a body squat. So all you do is you either hold your hands here or clasp them, and you'd come straight down and back up again. So that would be
You know what? I am
a
going to
basic.
stand up here. 'Cause
Sure.
I'm having a hard time seeing it.
This is like
I don't know if the camera
a
could
basic
get me.
squat,
But,
okay?
Okay.
So that's something that would be a start. Now the next, a big step up would be a Bosu ball. Now what I like about the Bosu ball is you can use both sides. I'm going to use the flat side today just for demonstration.
It's
So
great.
you go from a regular body squat, and now you're advanced and you're on your Bosu ball. So now you're going to, the key is here, you're balanced. Once you step on the Bosu ball, every muscle in your body is engaged. So I have to keep my balance, right?
Right.
Left and right, front and back. All of my planes are being used, my sagittal plane, all planes of the body. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to do my squat on my Bosu ball. Form is key. Okay, so that would be like a step up. Now,
Look at that.
my next step would be, and I bought my yoga mat as just for an example, my next step would be, another advanced move, is now I'm doing an overhead squat. So I have my mat, and I'm slowly coming down and returning. So that is another advanced move. On top of that,
Now, you're making everything look easy. I'm sure it's not this easy for
it's not, no, it's
the
not,
person
it's
that's
not terribly
trying.
easy. That's why this is
This
challenging.
is more advanced.
This is challenging.
Okay.
To advance it even more, you turn it over and you would do it on the other side.
Wow. Now, I'm watching you, and I feel I should be picking it up and giving it to you, but I'm letting you do your thing. You seem
Yeah,
like you
yeah.
have done this before many times.
This is a fantastic piece of equipment. If somebody wanted to go out and get it for themselves, they could. You can find them anywhere. They have
Okay.
them in Walmarts, in Sports Authorities. You can order it on Amazon.com. $100, and you can do everything on this Bosu ball. I sound like I work for Bosu, don't I?
You do? Yeah.
But I love medicine balls. I love balance balls. There's so many different things, you know.
You know, I was in an office one day, and I actually saw somebody that was using one of those. Is that what it's called, the medicine ball, the big one?
No, the medicine ball is something that you can throw down. The balance ball, is it a big
balance
blue ball?
And instead of having a chair, she was sitting at her computer with that, and said how it's just, she could stretch, she could lean, so
Yes.
she's working, and then when she gets tired of sitting.
They are fantastic. They are fantastic. Now, an advanced move with that would be, and this is very advanced, you actually get onto the ball with your knees, and you hug the ball so that you're using all of your legs, and you're straight up, so you're using all of your core, right? Core is so important. Core is everything. And then you can actually go very advanced and do some dumbbell work with it. These are things that people, it doesn't cost a lot of money. And it's motivational in the sense that it's so challenging that when you get to that point,
Yeah.
it's exciting. And you just want to do more.
Absolutely,
Right?
absolutely. How often do you work with your clients? Is it a weekly, daily?
Well,
know.
it depends on the client, really. I can do once a week for someone who is advanced and doesn't really need me to be with them, or if they're very advanced and they're training for some kind of sporting event, then it could be 3 times a week. So it really depends on the client.
Okay.
Depends on what they need. you know, there's a lot of trainers out there that will spend time putting somebody on a treadmill for 15 minutes to either warm up or cool down.
Right, they could do that on their own. They don't need a trainer for that.
I want, if people are going to give me their hard-earned money, I want to earn that hard-earned money. I want to give them things, I want to spend time with them on things that maybe they wouldn't normally be able to do. I want proper form. I want to make sure that they're doing exactly what they're supposed to do, especially in the beginning. It's so important that people understand that it's not all about getting to the end. You know, you've got to take your stages. You've got to work with different phases.
Oh, with any type of goals, you know, that's the problem with New Year's resolutions.
Yeah.
You know, people are all, oh great, I'm going to do this and this and this, and they either take on too much that they don't accomplish anything, they get discouraged.
Right.
You know, or they, I don't know, I think we live in a society where everybody wants things instantaneous.
Right.
You know, like you said, take that magic pill and, you know, or do this or do that. And
Right.
people have to realize it took many years to get to the point where they are.
Right.
And they can't just within a short time because it's now, you know, getting close to summer.
I
you
wanna
know,
get in
and
that
they
bikini.
want to get that bikini or they're going on vacation and all of a sudden, oh gee, I'm going on vacation. I want
But,
to.
you know, and that's the other part of for me, for my business, I believe that, again, we talked about realistic goals. Goals should also be written down. Goals should be timed. If you just say, I want to lose, you know, 10 pounds by the end of the summer, that's not good enough. It's got to be, I want to do this, this, and this to get there.
Right. And
So-
you want to be able to measure it.
Exactly.
And have a time and a
Exactly.
deadline that you could look at.
And you've got to love yourself to start.
Very good. Well, you know what? It was a pleasure
You
to
too,
have
Michael.
you,
You
Terry.
too. This was
I
so
am
great.
ready to start, and
Great. Sign up today.
It is great. Okay.
Thank you.
BYOB, and what is that email address again?
BYOB Fitness at yahoo.com.
At yahoo.com. Thank you again,
Thank
Terry.
you,
This
Michael.
was, what a great show we had.
Fabulous.
Thank you so much.
Fabulous.